Hey everyone. So I have been working on a new project, cleaning up an old Gateway keyboard, and I'm recording about halfway through. The project ended up being a little more interesting than I was anticipating. I wasn't planning on making a video, but here we are. So it had the original Gateway logo on it and everything. The model number is 2196001, and this was built December 12th of 1995, and it's been sitting around in storage forever. I used it more recently when I was at loading DOS on some of these old computers, but it was in pretty bad shape. I'll insert a photo here. I don't have any video, but it was terrible. It was kind of yellowed, and it was really yucky. It had a bunch of gunk on it. So cleaned all the gunk off as best I could. Took the keyboard apart. This is the bottom. This is the top. And there's, so you can see here, this flexible sheet, which is what the keys actually push down onto. And there's this metal back that goes in there as well. So I took everything apart. When I got to this part, there were all these rubber feet, rubber plungers, I guess is what you'd call them, and they were all sitting in here like so. And I didn't realize that they were just loose, so I tipped the board over to see what they looked like on the other side, and they all fell out. And there are 30, how many of these were there? There's 67 of these, the orange ones, and there are 34 of the blue ones, and there's one green one. And I can't tell any difference between the blue and the orange ones in terms of the amount of springiness, you know. So I push on each of these, they feel the same to me. However, this green one feels a little more stiff than the others. So I'm thinking the green one went on the space bar. I don't know where all the others go. I thought originally that it might have something to do with gray keys versus white keys. And I counted up the white keys and the gray keys, but the numbers did not match. So I really don't know. I was looking online to see if there's someone else who's disassembled this keyboard who might have posted a photo of the arrangement, but I couldn't find anything. So I found some Gateway AnyKey keyboard diagrams. Apparently that was a much more popular model, and it looked like the plungers on that were pretty random. They were actually a bunch of green ones and a bunch of orange ones, and like 2 or 3 blue ones. So perhaps these are all truly just randomized, and it doesn't matter where I put them. That's the theory I'm going with, because I don't know what else to do. If you own this same keyboard and are willing to take it apart and look and see how everything's arranged and send me a photo, I would be very grateful. But I'm betting nobody's going to take me up on that offer, because this keyboard seems to be somewhat rare. I've seen other models similar to it on eBay, but they don't have the square bezel here. This is like perfectly square. I've seen some where it's like kind of curved on the bottom, same logo and everything. I assume that's just a newer model. So anyway, after taking it apart, I popped all the keys out. This was all full of grime and stuff, so I rinsed this off in the tub and wiped the keys off one by one with some Windex, and then ended up boiling the keys. Well, not boiling, but heating them to between 150 and 160 degrees in a combination of water and 3% hydrogen peroxide on the stove for about 4 hours, and that whitened them up nicely. And for this and the bottom piece, I set these outside in a big clear plastic tub, again in water and 3% hydrogen peroxide, covered it with plastic wrap. I put a rock here to hold it down, and set it out in the sun for about 2.5 to 3 hours. And every half hour I would go out and kind of move things around, make sure everything was getting evenly exposed to the UV, and it whitened up really nicely. I'll be showing a before and after at the end. Again, I only have a photo, but I'll be showing a before and after. So Lizzie here is going to be my assistant. And we're going to put this thing back together. So yeah, it came out great out of the peroxide, and I just hope all the keys work when it's completely back together. That will be the test. So first, we got to pop all of these little rubber feet in. So you're going to help me with this. I'm putting this in where the keyboard was, under the theory that that's the only meaningful colored one. The rest of these are just random. So I'll have to make sure not to tip this like I did before. It was terrible.
I'm missing one.
We're missing one.
I thought we count.
We found it. It was in the chair that I was sitting in when I dumped everything all over me.
Oh.
And is it blue? Is it orange? No, it's green. But we already have a green one for the space bar, so I don't know. I want to feel how this one feels next to one of these others. Because that first green one we had definitely felt stiffer.
Yeah.
This one still feels stiffer.
Hmm.
Where should we put it?
Where's the enter key?
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that would be the next one.
Good thought. Enter. Maybe it's right here. Yep. So we'll put that enter key. Put that there. Right there. All right. Now we're complete. So I'm assuming it looks something like this before I dumped it on my lap. Yeah. Okay, so next thing we need to do is lay this thing in. So only goes one way. Everything looks like it lines up pretty well. And these holes that fit through it to help it line up, so that's good. Okay, and then this thing goes here. But first I think we need to put this board in. Let's see. This fits between.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. There's this board has a bunch of contacts on it, and it fits like in between this metal top piece and this bottom plastic piece. So it's kind of like a sandwich. And it has a single chip on it. Silatech MPA10604. It also has the number 545 on it. Whatever that means. Okay, so actually, does it go between? Looks like there's just padding on the top here. So I think this board just sits in place and this goes over it. I have a photo I could refer back to, but that's no fun. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's how it works. So then when this metal piece sits on top, it pushes down on this, and there's some foam under there, so hopefully that helps it make good contact. And that goes here. And yeah, when this goes over the top, it lets the keyboard cable out there. think I will refer back to my photo. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. So now this thing. Goes like that. I have some screws to put back in. Do. I think these big ones went in here.
Mm-hmm.
So many screws. All right. And this thing goes here. Yeah, so there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. There was one screw hidden under here. There was a label over here. So if you're taking apart a similar keyboard, look under the label. I was trying to get it apart with only 5 screws out. I was like, why is this not coming apart? There's no more screws. But there were. One thing is not sitting properly. There we go. Oh. All right. Another issue. Apparently, I put one of the screws in, and it's blocking this hole here.
Oh, oops.
So there's another hole over here it should have gone in. Okay. Now I think we're good. Yeah, I guess it should go around there. Alright, let's try this again. Yes. Now this screw will go in. Aye. And one thing I forgot to do when we were brightening these was leave the feet up. It's a little yellowed under there, but not a huge deal. Not like anybody's going to be examining under there very often.
Mm-hmm. Did you usually use it with the feet down or up?
I don't remember.
Hmm.
All right. now it's time to put all the keys back in. I kind of want to test it first and make sure these keys are all working though. Let's do that. I also don't know what to do with these labels. These were the labels I took off the back. I'd like to try to stick them back on, but I don't know if they'll stay very well. Alright. Booting into DOS here. I'm sorry the image is flipped. Timothy's awake. Alright. I won't put on any keys without you. Alright. The moment of truth. Q. W. E. R. T. Y. I think it works. Yep. Seems good. Of course, we won't really know until the keys are back in. Numlock on, we get some numbers on the keypad. Alright, I think we're good. Next step, putting the keys in. Welcome back. We have a printout of the way the keys looked, and Timothy's down, so Lizzie's going to assist again, and we're going to put all these keys back in. So, let's do it. Some of these have the little metal clips in them, the bigger ones, so I'll work on these.
You can do it. It's too hard.
There it is. Let's try it. Make sure it still works. Then we'll take a photo how it looks compared with the old gross stained yellow version. This monitor has some of the same crud on it that the keyboard had, so maybe we should do that next. Gateway 2000. This BIOS is copyright 1992, so pretty old. This is a Pentium 233 with MMX technology. Nice. All right. Seems to work. Yeah. Thanks for joining us on this adventure. So I did reapply these stickers to the bottom, and the corner of one is trying to come up, but we'll see how long they last. I can't think of another better way to stick them down. I don't really want to put glue on this keyboard, so maybe they're better off without it. So what I ended up doing was using some of this glue stick to stick down just the edge of that sticker because it kept wanting to peel back up. This one looks fine and that other edge looks fine, so I think we're good. I felt comfortable using this because it'll probably be fairly easy to remove if I ever want to again.